Hello, Robert. Is it true that you've been assigned to another department? That's what I just heard from administration.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Barnes. Still at work? Being a section manager seems like a pretty hard job, so staying late, I mean.
No use trying to curry favor with me, Robert. Besides, I'm off today. So what about it? Are you getting transferred or what? What's up? Is it true?
Well, it was all explained in that internal memo at work today.
Like I said, I haven't been in today. Someone from administration sent me a text mentioning it.
Oh, yeah, right. I thought you were there. Sorry.
So, are you gonna answer me? Are you getting transferred or not?
Yes, sir. I'm getting transferred next month to my new position. I really appreciate your help all these years, but I'll be leaving this branch office by the end of the month. It's really been a great experience.
I see. So not a different department, but you're leaving this office altogether, huh? Seems kinda strange that you'd be transferring right about now.
Yes, I know. I heard that they decided on my transfer unexpectedly. I guess they needed to fill that position as soon as possible.
Oh, I see. So that's what it was all about. Now I get it. Yeah, figures. I'm not sure what you did to make this sudden decision, but you know what? I was kinda half expecting it. I mean, you've always been presumptuous. Always a little disrespectful to your superiors.
I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Barnes. Why did you expect I would be transferred? I don't think I was ever out of line in any way. Was I really that disrespectful, sir?
What I mean is, you probably did something sneaky and got caught. They couldn't fire you, and the only option was to redispose, so to speak.
Pardon me?
What the hell did you do, Robert? Screw up one of the projects? Or is it more non-business related, like an in-office romance or something? So, where are you getting relocated to? Some factory office out west? That place way out in Nowhereville? Or maybe a one-person box office out in the company parking lot?
Mr. Barnes, if you had read the memo, maybe you wouldn't be saying that, but it's not that I'm being relocated.
Oh, I see. You don't even realize the predicament you're in. I get it. Too shocked to comprehend it, huh? It happens. Just can't accept it, can you? Well, you dug your own hole. The company had no choice but to transfer you. It's probably your shameless attitude toward what you did that irked them. I suggest you accept the consequences, Robert. You should be grateful they let you keep your job.
Right. It's just that...
So where'd you get relocated to? Come on, Robert, stop beating around the bush for God's sake!
If you would just take a look at the company memo that was distributed today, you'll get all the information you need, sir.
That means I have to wait until tomorrow morning to get the good news. I won't be able to sleep. Let's hear it, Robert. Where's this wonderful place you're being transferred to? It's like I'm waiting for the axe to fall. Besides, I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth than reading some boring memo. So out with it, man! If it's that factory office out west, you better get a pretty warm jacket. It gets pretty chilly out there.
Not out west, but east. The headquarters in New York.
Wait a sec. What? Hey, Robert. You there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Barnes. What can I do for you?
What you said yesterday about your transfer, that was no joke, was it? I just read the company memo, and it's not only you. Melinda's being transferred too! She should be here, near me! Is this all really true?
Right. Yes. It's all there in the memo. All true, sir. There was this company competition last year. You remember that, right? Well, the project idea that Melinda and I submitted was selected.
Yeah, that. When they put that into actual use, it immediately racked up like $1 million in sales. That project idea, huh? So the company's rewarding you by transferring you guys to headquarters, is that it?
Oh, okay. So you read the whole thing. So I don't have to explain everything.
I couldn't believe it. So I asked my uncle who works at headquarters. I had to verify if it was true.
Oh, really? Your uncle works at headquarters? I never knew that, sir.
He was the one that got me into this company. He's got some connections and put in a good word for me. He's the section manager at HR over there.
Oh, really? I had no idea. That's great.
You had no idea? You should know about the people you work with, especially your boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm the type that sort of overlooks that kind of thing. If it doesn't affect my work, it just doesn't interest me.
Huh? Oh, I see. That's why you were so hyped about trying to outshine me, is that it?
Not really. All I was doing my job as best I could, that's all. I was not out to get the better of anybody.
About this transfer to headquarters. How about I go instead of you? What do you say?
Pardon me. You want to go to HQ instead of me?
Yeah, that's right. Along with Melinda, of course. The two of us would make the perfect pair for the main office. I asked my uncle to pull some strings to get me transferred to headquarters, but you know what he said? He said if I had real success that I could show, he could talk to some people and act on that. So what I'm trying to say is that you give me the credit for that project idea. That one that garnered in excess of $1 million in sales. Just say it was all your boss's idea. That I was the brains behind it.
Mr. Barnes, listen, I really can't do that.
Seriously? Are you telling me you're giving your boss the middle finger, is that it?
I don't have the power to overturn a request from higher up.
Robert, I want you to come up to the 3rd floor. Let's have a little talk in the meeting room, privately. The branch manager will be there too, so let's us three sit down and have a little conversation, shall we?
Okay, I'll be right up.
Man, what a total wimp! All I did was press you on the issue. You got all flustered and nervous. And before I knew it, you back up towards the window all scared like, and fall out! This was on the 3rd floor for God's sake! You're a total klutz, you know that? Just so you know, I had nothing to do with it. It's not as if I pushed you or anything. I just confronted you on some business issues and you got all agitated for no reason. Don't make any false accusations. Gotta say, it was the 3rd floor. I'm sure you're not okay. How could you be, right? But you know what, Robert? As your boss, I'm gonna go out on a limb for you. I'll assume all responsibility of your business dealings. That's the least I can do. So relax and get some rest. I really have to thank you for providing me an opportune chance to further my career. At a cost, of course. That $1 million deal is now mine. I was the one who came up with that idea. You got that? There will be consequences if you report on this, that I had anything to do with it. You slipped and fell out of that window, you understand? Another thing you shouldn't forget, my uncle is the section chief at HR. He's got my back 100%. Just so you're aware, as long as you don't rock the boat, everything will remain normal. Your future with this company depends on whether you keep your mouth shut or not. Do we understand each other? That's all I have to say. Have a nice long rest, and I look forward to seeing you back at work in a few weeks. Or maybe months. Oh yeah, about Melinda. Don't worry about her. She's all taken care of, if you know what I mean. Robert, you know what? You're a total loser.
Robert, are you okay? I heard all about it. What the hell happened?
Oh, hey, Melinda. Thanks for earlier. Yeah, I'm doing okay. My new suit got hooked up on a branch and got all torn up. That was my favorite suit!
I'm so glad to hear you're okay. It could have been way worse.
Well, that was because of your quick thinking. Maybe I wouldn't even be talking to you right now.
Please, don't say that, Robert.
When Mr. Barnes confronted me in the meeting room, he backed me toward the window and I had nowhere else to go. But then I looked down and saw you and your folks standing down there with a mattress ready to take my fall.
I'm just glad we were able to get there in time.
I later remembered that your folks owned a furniture shop just around the block, right?
Yeah, that's right. That was why we were able to get there in time with the mattress. The staff was just unloading a new shipment into the warehouse. I was walking down the hall and overheard Mr. Barnes' staff members talking about how he was going to somehow hamper your transfer to headquarters. But then I learned that you had already gone up to the 3rd floor to have a meeting with Mr. Barnes. All I could think of spur of the moment was to go straight to my parents' place down the street.
Thanks for that, Melinda. Always so astute. That's what I like about you. Oh yeah, about that mattress. Got a bit dirty after catching my fall. That was new, wasn't it? Can't sell that anymore. Tell you what, I'll buy it. I need a new mattress anyway. In a weird way, I have this intimate connection with it now.
You really don't have to, but if you want, sure. We'll give you a big discount on it.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. About Mr. Barnes. He still doesn't know the whole story, right?
No, he doesn't. He was out of the office when it was announced, so I don't see how he could know. He just left a little while ago, so I covered for you. Just that you were in pain and recuperating. We were lucky he didn't see us down below. I suppose the bushes and those trees helped, although it didn't help your suit.
Yeah, well, the suit was a small price to pay. Anyway, thanks for everything, Melinda. I owe you.
You're at my parents' place now, right? I hope you're comfortable there.
Yeah, your parents are great. They're treating me like royalty.
I also talked to the branch manager. He was really concerned and asked how you were holding up. He wants to know all the details after you return to the office. He was furious that his name was used in all this.
Yeah, all right. Again, thanks for everything.
Oh, just so you know, I saw Mr. Barnes as he was leaving. He had a huge smirk on his face. I even think he was whistling.
Are you serious?
Lucky for those trees and bushes, he didn't see us with the mattress. Probably just thought the trees blocked your fall, and luckily it was out back and nobody was around, so the whole incident didn't get out of hand. He has no idea you're perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, I guess we were just lucky, huh? Mr. Barnes has always been short-sighted. His work style has always been patchy. Everything is half finished. But I suppose that trait was to our advantage.
Hey, Robert, you there? Reply right this second, buddy. How the hell can you be okay? I thought you'd be incapacitated for weeks. Melinda said you were in pain, for Christ's sake.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Barnes. I'm fine. I was in a bit of pain, but popped a couple aspirins on the way. No problem. Why didn't you stop and talk when you saw me in the hall?
You're not some kind of ghost, are you?
I'm pretty sure a ghost can't text message. That will be weird, huh? Like some horror movie.
Yeah, well, stop changing the subject, will you?
I see what you're getting at. You want to know why I'm perfectly fine. Not a scratch on me despite falling from the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah, what the hell's going on? You didn't fall. That's it, right? Somehow you saved yourself at the last minute.
Well, let's just say I had some help. Some good people helped break my fall. But what's more, guess what I did before joining this company? I was a stuntman!
A stuntman? Don't give me that!
It's true. That project I put through, the one that generated over $1 million in sales, well, my former expertise played an important role in that. But we're getting way off topic, so let's leave that for later.
What the hell are you talking about? Get to the point, for crying out loud!
You really did it this time, Mr. Barnes.
Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, buddy. Are you accusing me of something? I haven't done anything wrong.
I will file a report regarding this incident, just so you're aware.
What? You're not even hurt. What are you even gonna report? That you were a klutz and stumbled over your own feet?
Although I wasn't injured, you definitely will be charged with assault.
Pardon me?
If I had been injured, you'd be charged with assault and battery. A pretty serious crime, I'm told. But since I wasn't injured, the consequences of your misconduct won't be as bad. You should be grateful for that at least.
Don't even think about submitting a report. You do that, and you know the payback you'll get. I warned you about this before, Robert. Don't throw your career away by doing this.
Oh, are you planning on inflicting bodily harm, sir?
I'll do what I have to if it's what you're asking. This time for good.
You're forgetting one thing, Mr. Barnes. I was a stuntman, and I'm also a black belt in karate and an MMA contender. You really want to grapple with me?
MMA? Are you serious? A kid who works for me was previously a vicious animal? Give me a break!
I have no intention of using my full strength on a non-experienced person like yourself, so don't worry. No matter what you say, Mr. Barnes, I plan on submitting this report. End of story.
You do that, and my transfer to HQ is hopeless. You do realize that, right? It's already been decided. Melinda and I are going to HQ, not you.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. About your uncle, the one who works in HR? Well, I was told that he's taking responsibility for manipulating documents and favoring applicants. A clear violation of company policy. I was told he submitted his resignation today. I'm surprised you haven't heard. You're the manager. You should know these things, Mr. Barnes.
My uncle resigned? No, that can't be right.
The branch manager apparently got in contact with headquarters and submitted a detailed report of your background and recent track record. It's apparent that you used connections to get where you are now, and your uncle manipulated documents to land you this job. The senior administration were furious.
Huh? My track record? How?
Your folks have also been informed about all this. Actually, I got a phone call from them yesterday apologizing on your behalf.
Wait, pardon me? This whole thing? My parents know about this whole thing? How could that be?
Oh, by the way, your parents were very kind and understanding. You really should be grateful that they have so much sympathy for others.
You're not telling me that.
The reason why nobody has contacted you is obvious, isn't it? They figured it would be better to have you come to the office as usual, as if nothing happened. Otherwise, you'd probably panic and take off. Knowing you, Mr. Barnes, that's exactly what you would have done, am I right?
You gotta help me out here, Robert. Please.
I'm gonna have to pass on that, sir.
But what about my transfer to headquarters with Melinda?
You lay one finger on my girl and you're a dead man. You got that, buddy?
She's with you? No way!
Can we please cut this short? I have to finish up my transfer papers by today.
What about me? What am I gonna do from now on?
Goodbye, Mr. Barnes. Good luck. After that conversation, I submitted my report and pressed charges against him for assault. Through our lawyers, we were finally able to settle the matter after Mr. Barnes admitted his guilt and agreed to pay compensation for what he did. Although he was pretty pissed off, as you can imagine, Mr. Barnes eventually resigned from the company. I was worried he might retaliate somehow, so I had my lawyer place a restraining order on him. If he at any time approaches 10 feet from me, he goes to jail. Although I can protect myself, it would put my mind at ease. I later heard from his folks that they introduced him to a live-in job somewhere up north. I heard it was a logging company of some kind. His folks paid the entire compensation fee, so he's now hard at work paying them back. And I can tell you right now, it's not a small amount. They said they are eventually planning on sending him to one of their operations overseas, so I probably won't ever see him again. I sort of feel sorry for him, but I have to say, he had it coming. As for me and Melinda, we were both transferred to headquarters and already starting on our new project together. We're both just glad all this is over and we can get on with our lives.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hi, Sylvia. You asked me recently whether I wanted to marry you or not, right? You said you wanted to get married soon and that you would be the one proposing, but you wanted my answer as soon as possible. Why do you want to get married in the first place?
Yup, I did say that, Leonel. I want to get married soon because I'm going to turn 30 in just a half a month now, after all. I want children as well, if possible, and considering my age, I thought that we should make the decision around now.
You want children, huh? Yeah, I think I don't want to marry you after all.
What? Why not? Do you not want children or something?
To tell you the truth, I want to have a bit more fun while I'm young. Getting married and having children is such a hassle, you know? We won't have much money to spend on our own amusement if we have children, and we'll have to take the time to take care of them.
A hassle? I know raising children is a lot of work, but you're going to give up being a parent just because it's a hassle?
Yeah, I think I am. Besides, there's no need to sound so down. The difference between a married couple and an unmarried couple is just whether they turned in some piece of paper to the city hall or not. Even children, you can still give birth when in your 40s, right? If you think about it like that, we can have fun for 10 more years. Why go through the trouble now when we don't have to?
So you're telling me to give birth once I'm in my 40s?
I mean, you said yourself that you wanted to have children, right? So it shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
Yeah, but I want you to think about the risks of giving birth to children in your 40s. That's why I'm talking to you about this right now. We can't put this off any longer than we already have, Leonel.
What's the matter with you, Sylvia? You sound a lot more anxious than usual. Well, if you really mean what you're saying, then I guess we have no choice but to break up.
Huh? Break up? After we've been going out for the past 10 years?
Yeah, I'm not interested in this marriage and children stuff. If you don't want to break up, then I want things to stay the same.
I understand. That's fine then.
Yep, let's just keep things the way they are and not worry about marriage and stuff. I'm glad you finally get the point.
No, I meant that it's fine if we break up.
What? But we've been going out for 10 years. You can't just break up now. Oh, I know. You're bluffing right now, too, to get what you want, right? Well, it's not gonna work.
I wonder what these past 10 years I spent with you were. Now that I think about it, all we did was kill time together. I honestly don't understand anymore. Goodbye, Leonel.
What? Sylvia? Did you just get mad or something? Just contact me when you're in a better mood, okay? Hey, Sylvia. It's been 5 years, right? I'm finally ready to get married, so I decided to contact you again. I think I'm going to accept that offer of yours now. Anyways, you moved sometime after we broke up, right? Just because you got mad at me and were in a bad mood doesn't mean you can just keep your new address a secret from your boyfriend. I thought you were still living in that old apartment of yours, you see. I wore a suit and bought some roses and a wedding ring because I intended to propose to you. To think that I was so nervous when I rang the doorbell, but when the door opened, a completely different person greeted me. It was so awkward. So, where are you living now? I've got a surprise for you as well, so I want to tell you it, so I want you to tell it to me by tomorrow. Hey, anyone there? Don't tell me that you're still mad about that fight we had over 5 years ago, are you? I didn't take you for the kind of person to hold a grudge. Jesus, I better make sure not to make you mad once we get married. What's your new address, Sylvia? Just tell me when you see these texts, I guess.
What the fuck? Is that you, Leonel? Shit, I must have forgotten to block you. What is it that you want?
Oh, so you finally saw the messages I sent you. What do you mean by you forgot to block me? Why in the world would you ever do that? I'm your boyfriend. But we've got more important matters. Seriously, what in the world are you doing? Jesus. If you don't hurry up and tell me your new address, the surprise I have planned for you tomorrow will be ruined. Hurry up and tell me your new address. It won't do if I don't know how long it will take you to get to the venue, right?
I'm not going to tell you my new address. And what do you mean by a surprise?
I told you by text yesterday, didn't I? I'm finally ready to marry you, so I have a surprise prepared.
I don't know what you plan on doing, but I don't want your surprise. I have no intention of marrying you anyways, let alone of meeting you again.
Huh? Are you seriously still mad at me? Jeez. Will you just let it go already? You're the one who said you wanted to get married, right? What's with the sudden change of heart? And to think that I was finally ready to get married.
I said I don't have any intention of marrying you anymore. Besides, didn't we break up 5 years ago? Did you seriously think that I haven't moved on by now?
Huh? What do you mean you moved on? Oh, I get it. You're still mad about the fight we had 5 years ago. Seriously, Sylvia, just let it go already.
That's not the point. Yes, I was mad at the time, but that was 5 years ago and I've already moved on. It's not that I'm mad, it's just that you're not a part of my life anymore, Leonel. Why'd you even think of contacting me in the first place?
Fine. Then why don't we just get back together and get married then if we broke up and you've moved on, as you say?
What? Do you seriously not get what I'm trying to say? I have zero intention of getting back together with you, Leonel. Stop texting me.
It's no use trying to lie to me, Sylvia. I see right through you. I mean, we did go out for 10 years. I know you still like me after all this time. It's so obvious that you're still into me. I'll accept the proposal you made to me 5 years ago. So just come to the wedding venue tomorrow, alright?
The wedding venue? Huh? Did you seriously reserve a wedding venue or something?
Of course I did.
But aren't weddings supposed to be planned out by the couple first? I think there are a lot of things that can't be decided without the bride there. What did you do about the wedding preparation?
Oh yeah, you're right. They told me the bride needed to be there to plan the wedding with me, which is why I had your sister cooperate inside for you.
My sister?
Yep. She's about the same age as you and looks like you too, so I had her pretend to be the bride and come with me for the wedding preparation.
What? You know that I cut ties with my sister when I was 28, right? She caused so much trouble that even our parents cut ties with her. I told you that she was crazy, Leonel, but you still decided to approach her. Who knows what she's planning? If I were you, I'd just cancel the wedding and have nothing to do with my sister anymore.
Oh, come on, Sylvia, you're exaggerating. Your sister's a perfectly normal person. I don't know why you ever cut ties with someone so sweet. Besides, there's no need to worry about the details. The planning's already done, and all you have to do now is come to the wedding. The wedding venue for tomorrow is called H Wedding and is in K City. They said they need the bride to be there by 8 a.m., so don't be late, alright?
What in the world make you think that I'd actually go? Have you seriously not been reading my texts?
There's no need to be shy. You've known each other for so long. I know that when you're like this, you actually mean the opposite.
Sorry, but I have a date with my husband tomorrow, so I can't come.
What? Your husband? Oh, you mean me? You're right, I was intending to turn in our marriage papers tomorrow. But what do you mean you can't come to our wedding because you have a date with me? We can't just postpone the wedding and go on a date if that's what you meant, Sylvia.
No, that isn't what I meant. And by my husband, I don't mean you, Leonel. You see, I already got married with another man 3 years ago. I even have children now.
Huh?
Now that you know all this, I guess I'll tell you the rest, since you'll find out sooner or later anyways. My husband is your second cousin, Manuel.
What? Manuel? But he's 5 years younger than you. I knew you were that kind of woman, but still.
That's right, judge me if you want, but I don't care. By the way, I started going out with Manuel not knowing that he was your second cousin. I only found out that he was your second cousin at our wedding, because amongst his relatives at the wedding was your cousin, which I had met before.
What? Why did you not tell me about this?
Because we had already broken up and didn't feel the need. Still, I was so surprised when I saw your cousin there. After a bit of investigation, I found out that your cousin had already cut ties with you since you tried to interfere in some of their inheritance business when you had no right to do so. I heard that both you and your parents were shunned by the rest of your relatives. Is that true?
That has nothing to do with our marriage. We'll talk about it afterwards if you want.
Tell me, does this mean that you have a debt or something?
Just a tiny one, maybe?
My father is the CEO of a company. You might have been planning to marry me so that you could get the position of the next CEO of my father's company, getting rid of your debt in the process. But it's not going to work.
How did you know that?
I mean, thinking only about how you yourself could benefit from a situation is your specialty, isn't it?
So that's what you thought of me all along?
Yup. I don't know why I didn't break up with you sooner. But isn't that also why you refused to marry me 5 years ago? You didn't want to get married and have children because it would be a hassle for you, right? You wouldn't be able to spend as much money on your own entertainment if you had children to take care of, after all.
That's unrelated. What matters is that I'm finally ready to marry you.
Yeah, but I'm not. Anyways, I got off topic. Like I said earlier, I already have a husband and children. Oh, and about my father's company, the next CEO was already decided 2 years ago, and he's someone completely unrelated to me.
What did you say? So I'm not going to become a CEO even if I marry you?
Yes. Although you're not going to marry me in the first place. Well, that's all I have to say. You understand now that you won't benefit from marrying me anymore. I think that's enough to make you give up, right?
Seriously? What am I going to do about tomorrow's wedding then? I had a really extravagant wedding plan since I thought that your family would be able to pay for it in the future.
H wedding at K City, right? I heard that wedding ceremonies there are really expensive.
Lend me some money, will you? This wedding was supposed to be yours in the first place. This is partly your fault, so at least pay for half of the cancellation fee.
No, I'm not going to lend you money, and I'm not going to pay for the cancellation fees.
Come on, don't be so stingy. At least think about it a little longer. Seriously? What am I supposed to do now? Sylvia, help me. What should I do? I was forced to marry your sister. Was she planning this all this time? You're right, she really is crazy.
Huh? So that's what she was up to. I told you that you would regret having anything to do with my sister, didn't I?
I was surrounded by a bunch of tough-looking guys and forced to come to the wedding. And then they forced me to say the wedding vow with your sister at the chapel. The wedding papers I had prepared for you and me as well. They made me sign it with your sister's name as the wife's name. I admit it, you were right, so please help me.
Hold on. By the surprise you had planned for me, were you planning on getting me and my sister to make up or something? Did you seriously think that that was going to make me happy?
I mean, who wouldn't want to make up with their long-lost sister?
She's insane, Leonel. Although, I guess you know that by now. You asked her to pretend to be me during the wedding preparations, right? I had the feeling that you would tell her to come on the wedding day as well.
Oh, yeah. I was intending on that.
I see. So that means my sister was planning on marrying you from the start. No one's going to deny it now, since you had her pretend to be your wife after all.
Huh? But surely they'll believe me if I tell them what really happened, right?
I think that's going to cause you a whole host of other problems. Anyways, it looks like you haven't noticed until now, but apparently you're exactly the kind of guy my sister wants. Even when we were together, she would always annoy me by saying, "Give me your boyfriend." It honestly pissed me off really bad.
Huh? She said that to you? Why did you never tell me about this?
I don't know. I guess it was embarrassing. Now that I think about it, I think that the reason I stayed with you for 10 years was because I unconsciously didn't want my sister to have you, and not because I liked you or anything. Yep, I was pretty foolish back then.
What are you talking about? I don't get anything you've been saying, Sylvia. Do you mean that you only stayed with me for 10 years to spite your sister? Fine, just help me then, will you? I have no intention of marrying your sister.
Stop asking me for a solution to this mess, alright?
I wonder if the only solution is to do something about those tough-looking guys following your sister around.
I don't know.
Wait, who are those people in the first place?
I said I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Hold on, don't tell me they're part of some gang.
Hey, could you please stop asking me? I really don't know, and I don't want to accidentally say anything strange that might get me involved in this mess.
What? So you're just going to leave me? Don't you feel the least bit responsible for this?
I don't.
I
mean, it's my ex-boyfriend and my sister who I cut ties with, so there's no way I'm going to get involved with that. The only reason I'm replying to your text right now is because we think that this is an irregular situation. Your second cousin and my husband, Emmanuel, are reading these texts and only replying because we have to.
Huh? Manuel's there with you?
Yeah, he is. There's something he wants to tell you as well.
What the hell does he want with me?
We cut ties with you and your family because all you three cared about was money. I don't want anyone like that bothering my wife, he says.
But, I really need you to help me right now. I don't really want to get married.
I see. Bye.
Huh? But Sylvia!
After that conversation, I blocked Leonel, confused as to whether he wanted to get married or not. The only reason he was able to text me in the first place was because I forgot to block him all those years ago. I heard about what happened after that from a friend who knew what happened, but it seems like Leonel and my sister haven't broken up and are now living together. Apparently, my sister is pregnant with Leonel's baby and won't let him leave her because she wants Leonel to take responsibility for the baby. To be honest, I wanted to make a joke and tell him something about how he's been making my sister pretend to be me for too long, but I restrained myself. My sister, on the other hand, who was finally able to marry the man of her dreams, hasn't noticed that her new husband was in a huge amount of debt, it seems. I wonder for just how long this happiness of theirs will last. Actually, I guess they were never really happy in the first place.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.